Hey, doing a service call for a water heater that I sold back in February. So called me up, told me that he got it lit, but the pilot light is going out, and now he can't even get it lit at all. I just fired it right up. This is crazy. Check this out. This is a garage, and there's a urinal in here. That's wild. That's pretty awesome. I've never seen that before. A urinal. A urinal in somebody's garage. Okay. Alright, so water heater is lit. Just waiting for the thermocouple to kick in. Sorry, Thermopile. Holding it down. Got some kind of funky plumbing going on with the PVC. I guess the inspector was okay with that. Got a hat on it. Alright, looks like it's not coming up. The light is still lit. Urinal is still here. Oh. Does it work? Oh yeah, it works. This is beautiful. And there's a light, so you can see what you're doing. I tell you, some of these houses I go into. This house is for sale too. Alright. So it looks like the Thermopile voltage is not making it. And I can see where I spliced it in, so I'm thinking the problem is probably there. So I did some bad work, I guess. I don't know why I did that. Probably didn't have any burners, so I tried to make this burner work, but I brought some burners with me. So we'll see what I can do, but I'm gonna test the valve first, because we got no status light coming up. Pilot light is lit, you can see it. This is a 2015 Ream, probably sold it for about $85. I do a hydrostatic pressure test on all the tanks, make sure they don't leak, and fix them and sell them. So he actually bought this water heater and kept it for about 6 months. Okay, so I wanted to share this with you. I actually had this little gadget made, and basically it allows me to test the valve. So it's a battery inside with a resistor. So it's a 1.5 volt battery with a resistor that cuts that voltage in half to about 700 millivolts. So we can use that to test the valve. So let's see if we can get some life out of this valve here. I don't think, well, there we go. I can do this with the camera in my hand, but my GoPro went out on me. I gotta buy a new GoPro, so let's see here. Well, so it fired right up. Pretty neat, huh? Doesn't cost very much. You can. I got this case off of Amazon, I think, for like $4, and then I just used an old Thermopile connector, and it's got like a 1.5 volt battery with a resistor in between. I think it's a 100 ohm resistor, if I remember correctly, wired in, and allows me to test the valve. So it should start dumping gas. Yeah. All right, we got a raging flame going on inside there. I don't recommend doing that, but I'll probably edit that out of this video, but that flame is pretty high. We'll see if we get an error code. And the flame has calmed back down now, so it's a good sign. And we got some blue in there, we like that. We like all blue, but we'll take what we can get. You can see the pilot light is kicked in, so it's definitely the voltage coming from the thermopile. So probably what I will do is test it with my multimeter. Actually, I can do that right now. So let me put the camera down and I'll show you what that voltage is, if any at all. Okay, so I've got the multimeter hooked up. We got no thermopile voltage whatsoever. I've got them reversed. That's why we got a negative on there. But there is no voltage. So my splice-in job, which you can kind of see right there, did not hold for some reason. I'm trying to get these to make the signal go. I don't think it's working. But the flame has improved vastly. So what I'm going to do is just switch this burner assembly out and put a different thermopile in order to correct my issue. Just to give you an idea what the inside looks like. So actually I've got 2 batteries. So we're working off of 3 volts, and you can see the resistor right there. So a really good friend of mine, Walt, who used to be an electronics technician. I told him what I wanted. I wanted a way to test the valves, and I needed 750 millivolts, and I couldn't find a battery that does 750 millivolts, and he said, no problem, we'll put a resistor in between. And hopefully you can kind of see that, but pretty simple job to do. A little case from Amazon here. Help me out. Okay, so we got the burner disassembled. Pull the screws out of here. Make sure I lose them all. That's really important. There we go. Trying to get some of this on film. I got the camera in one hand. Put the 2 screws out of there. Got the 3rd screw out of here. Yes, the burner assembly is hot. Alright. Let's take a look inside. Make sure I didn't. There. Give you a little better view inside here. Just wanted to make sure I didn't pop the little fuse. That's good. There is something in there, a little piece of drywall. Go ahead and get that out. That's free. Actually, this whole trip is free because I sold a water heater that didn't work, so I back them up 110%. So yeah, let's put the burner assembly in here. We know it's dumping gas. We're good. There we go. Splice job. Splice job did not hold. It's a bummer. That's all right though. We can fix this. All right, so fortunately I have a, that's the original right there with the splice in it. That is the replacement burner assembly. It's kind of ugly. It's got some rust on it. I pulled it out of a water heater and the glass is all foggy, which drives me crazy because I like to be able to see through it. Oh wow, you can see where one of those glasses popped on it before. So when that little glass fuse in there pops, it's filled with oil and it spills that oil all over. It's also still warm. There's some oil on the ground. It's probably from someplace else. So I'm gonna switch these over because I like this one here. It's a lot cleaner. The glass is clear. And we'll put that back in there and see if it fires up. Right, so it's all switched over. Takes about 2 minutes. Usually I like to clean up the Thermopile a little bit with a grinder. I use a bench grinder with a rough wheel on it to really clean those up. But I didn't get enough time because I rushed over here. So we're just gonna pop that in as is. Probably be fine. Okay, get the right one number on that. Okay, just pop that bad boy right back in place. And I'll put the screws in. Put that screw in. There we go. Get this guy hooked back up and see what happens. All right, so it's in. Pilot light is on, came right up. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, let me help you out. There we go. It's counting up. Not as quickly as I would like. So usually it jumps in steps of 20. It'll go like 20, 40, 60, 80, 200 too. You know what I mean? Jump up. So I got my clamp holding it down. Went ahead and you can see. And then I've got my prongs tucked in there. And the magic number is 300, but I don't think we're gonna hit 300 because it's struggling to hit 170. So that's not good. That's the old affiliate unit there. But we'll wait and see where this ends at. But obviously cleaning up the Thermopile on a grinder with a grinding wheel, getting all that crud off of there, really helps the voltage a lot. But a lot of these water heaters that I get, they're used and people get rid of them for different reasons. And the reason they might have gotten rid of this one is because the Thermopile finally quit. So we can try it. I believe the magic number is 300, but it might be 200. So we can try it and see if it turns on at 200. But let's wait and see where it ends at here. Little update here. It's at 235. 236 millivolts. Pretty sure it needs 300 millivolts, but now's a good time to confirm that. 237. Yeah, this is taking forever. 238. It's wavering. All right, we'll call it at 238. Let's see if we can get the valve to kick over. I heard it come on. All right, it's working. It must be 200 millivolts. I was under the impression it was 300, but when you get them brand new, they're at like 850 millivolts, 800 millivolts, 750 millivolts. So over time, they wear down a little bit, but this one's on. Let's see if we can get it to stay on. Got a pilot light going? Yeah. I don't know why this thing turned the light on there. Yeah. So the valve doesn't want to kick in. And it's gonna probably start giving a 2-code flash here in a second. I just didn't have enough voltage for that. Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, red. I don't know if you can see it here. Find out where the light is there. There we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, so 2-code. On here is Thermopile voltage low. So struck out on that one. All right, so I put another one on. I found one in my little bucket of tricks right there. So we shall see. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that one in. There's the other two. All right, we got one bad Thermopile splice and one Thermopile low voltage. We're gonna pop this guy in and measure it and see what we got. Okay, so she's all hooked up. I was just checking for a spark. I don't think you can, thanks to the light here. But it is sparking. Get this fired up for you. We'll show you what the test is. Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but it is ripping through the numbers. So that was about 60 seconds. I don't know, maybe not even that long, probably 30 seconds. Pilot light is on, came right up. Might be able to see it back in there. And we are counting nicely too. You can see that count over 500. That's what I like to see. I really like to see over 600. But I think we got a winner here for sure. So I just put those prongs in there. I try not to put them in too far because they'll bend back the little clips inside, and then you get bad voltage connection here. So 556. 565. Slowing down a little bit. So I definitely think we got a winner. But if I need to use the restroom, that's always available to me, which I like. Actually, the house is vacant because he's selling it. So, got lucky. Got some extra parts. Yay. I'm gonna definitely tag and bag these for sure so I don't mix them in someplace else. So what are we at? 605. All these tools away here. 610. All right, we'll let you know what the final voltage here in a second. Right, so we seem to be holding pretty steady here at 621. So that's good, I like that. I'm satisfied with that. It's not brand new. Just so you know, in case you're curious, how much voltage one of these Honeywell motherboards can handle. So it can handle up to 999 millivolts, but as soon as you hit a volt, because I've got another tester at home, I've got another one at home and it's got a little dial on it. It's got a potentiometer, so you can control the voltage and you can turn up the voltage. It's got a 9-volt battery in it, and you can actually turn it all the way up to a volt and then all the way down to 1 millivolt. So the valves tend to kick in about 300 and they shut down. They literally shut completely down at 1 volt. So it can handle up to 999 millivolts. And yeah, we're at 90. Now we're dropping. That's great. That's not good, but it's pretty stable above 600. So let's see what happens here. Hopefully I didn't bend those too much. See, sometimes the prongs can get in there and bend them. And then I got a whole new problem. All right, kicked in right away. Let's try and mute this light a little bit for you. There you go. We'll take that off. Shut that sucker down. Yeah, we still got a pilot light going. This is hard to see, but we'll turn it up. Where is that light at? Oh, funky light right there. There you go. I think we got a winner. Okay, well, service call from hell. Multiple Thermopile problems. Fortunately, I had backups. I got a ton of backups in my little bucket of tricks. So this was going to happen one way or another. It's just a matter of how many I had to go through. I got backup valves too, backup covers or motherboards. So you can see blue once every 3 seconds, normal operations or operation. So yeah, everything seems to be going pretty good here. We know we got lots of thermopile voltage. I probably got this set too high because no one's living here, so we'll just put it on A. And I will get cleaned up, and before I lock up, I will check that it's working before I leave and let the owner know. All right, well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And you guys have a good evening. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Or give me a comment if you have any questions, or you want to tell me off for selling terrible used water heaters. But I do back them up 100%, and I sell them really inexpensively. A lot of people are selling them down here for like $300, $350 for something that's 15 years old. I will not charge that much money for that old of a water heater. I do a hydrostatic pressure test on all the tanks, which is what you're supposed to do for a vessel. That's what they call the tanks, a vessel. They're rated at 300 PSI. I pump them up to about 220 PSI and let it sit for an hour so I can find any leaks. And if it doesn't leak, I flush out all the sediment. I got another video on that. And then I check the burner assembly, clean out the combustion chamber, and replace the valve if needed. So anyway, thanks for watching. You guys have a great night or day.